Hey everyone, welcome back to week 22's study group. I'm Kaylee and we will get started today with our session. So before we start, we always start with the group learning agreements, right? So the only ones I really want you guys to follow are be present and engage, to respect people's stories and contributions, and to be prepared and have your materials ready. So take notes and invest your time into learning. So as always, we talk about our vision and our mission statement for the YSP. So Y Scholars Program's vision are to elevate people's growth mindset to achieve higher ambition. And our mission is to guide first generation high school students to pursue and obtain a college education. So the purpose for these study groups are to increase your connection with other Y Scholars, improve your student success skills, to guide you to practice your growth mindset. Right, so to prepare for this session, I asked for you to open your YSP journal or any Google Docs or a notebook so that you can take notes for your assignment. And we will be reviewing what we have learned the past 2 weeks on SMART goals and serendipity. So a SMART goal is specific, it's measurable, it's actionable, it's realistic, and it has a time bound. So to be a little bit more detailed about each one, specific is you have a very narrowed down goal and you know exactly what you want. And measurable is you know how to track your progress and you have a unit of measurement as to how far you've gone in your goal. Actionable means there are actions you can take that you can do to slowly reach your goal. And realistic is realistic, like it is actually a reasonable goal that you can do. And time bound is setting a deadline for yourself or a due date so you finish it within a specific time frame. So that's what a time bound means. And after talking about SMART goals, we talked about serendipity last week. And serendipity is finding something good without looking for it, right? It's usually by accidental, it's by luck, it could be any of that, right? So what is serendipity? It is when we face an issue, we still continue to move forward and we will learn something new and we make it into a new opportunity, right? So for instance, look at this picture right here. So this person is puzzled by this obstacle, right? He doesn't know what he can do here. He's stuck, he's blocked, but what does he do instead? He moves over to the other lane and then he jumps over this thing because he knows what to do. So he moves forward and he learns something new by leaping through that barricade, and he made it into an opportunity, right? So that's what serendipity is. To be more precise, serendipity is chance plus action. So the chances of a barricade being next to the thick wall is really small, right? But that happened. And he took action by jumping over it. So that is chance plus action. That's what serendipity is. And to be even more precise, serendipity means smart luck. Like luck has come your way. Are you gonna take action? Are you gonna make smart decisions? Like that's up to you, right? And if you do make the smart decision and you take action, that will be serendipity. And how do we increase serendipity and increase our chances of serendipity happening? Like we discussed last week, the most important one is getting out to meet new people, networking, communicating your ideas, because everyone comes from very diverse backgrounds. So one can usually find a solution to your issues. So yeah, there's that. And the next one we're going to talk about is having patience. So as we said, sometimes the smart luck doesn't just come your way, right? You have to wait for that luck to come to you. So you have to have patience and wait out on it, because just don't give up, because something will eventually come your way, especially if you're working hard, you're working towards your goal. Something will eventually happen. Just don't give up hope. All right. So this week we'll be talking about rethinking how you study. And to be more precise, We will be learning the importance of study skills and the warning signs that indicate you need to start improving your study skills. All right. So what are study skills? So write this down, write a bullet point down on what you think it is in your journal or your Google Doc. All right, the second question is, what is one study skill you believe you have improved on this year? Also, write a brief bullet point here or two. All right, next is the third question. What is one area and study skill that you would like to improve on? Write a bullet point or two. And we will be discussing all of these questions later. This is the last question. How do you currently keep track of your assignments and deadlines? Right. Write a couple bullet points, write a sentence or two, make it really quick. You can pause the video to write it down. And I will be sharing my answers with this. All right. So what are studying skills? So studying skills to me are skills that are necessary for studying and learning something new, and it is establishing new skills, right? And then one of my students wrote, I believe being organized is an example of it, right? It is part of studying skills because you need to write notes, you need to know where to refer back to it, all of that. And the next question is, what is one study skill you believe you have improved on this year? So I said my organization skills and my time management skills improved since I can now organize study groups to meet up with classmates and friends. And my other student here said time management skills improved because they're meeting their deadlines and it's never turning in late. So he stopped procrastinating and he's just like, I got to do it now, right? That's a good mindset and that's a good study skill to have. That's something you can always work on is when I'm studying, I find it difficult to focus and make connections between the different topics. Focusing is really difficult for me. So I usually have to like do multiple things at once or have a lot of tasks spread out just so I get from one thing to another really quick and that I don't lose focus. And here's an example. This is a very bad example, but this is just an analogy. So basically I get distracted and then something bad happens and that's usually my grade, right? My grade is like, and then for Lynn, or my student said, to not study last minute for a quiz or a test. So even though he said he's getting better at not doing his assignments last minute, he's still doing it last minute for his quiz or test, like staying up for that. So that's something he would like to work on. And this one, how do you currently keep track of your assignments and deadlines? So I put my deadlines onto a Google or Apple Calendar. And the second thing I do is I write Post-it notes and I write down all the small tasks I need to do and I like plan out my entire day on a Post-it note like this. And then my student here says, my he puts it in his Google Calendar and he looks at it to make sure the assignments that are due are on his Google to-do list. So he uses the Google task management thing. All right, so that is it for our group share. So as we wrap up our lessons on developing growth mindset, it is also important for you to develop study skills, right? So study skills about enabling your abilities to study hard and to study smart. But studying smarter is always better than studying harder, right? If you can learn 5 things in 1 hour versus 5 things in 5 hours, you'd much rather do it in an hour, right? And it's also just inefficient to just dedicate so much time to just studying something when you could be doing in a shorter period of time. So studying smarter will always make better use of your time so that you can spend all these other hours doing other stuff like taking care of yourself, watching a TV show, doing some chores, right? So study skills are usually not subject specific. So it's very applicable, right? The way you study for one class is sometimes very similar to another class. You can do it, your study skills apply to whenever you're learning something new, basically. And you can develop your skills and get better by practice because you aren't born with studying skills, right? We're not born with any of these well, we're not born with these skills, right? So we all have to practice and get better at it. Just like learning something new, like no one's like naturally good. Everyone has to work hard and practice. And that same thing applies to study skills. And because studying skills aren't used for subject specific, it is also commonly used in the real world. So besides studying as a student, you might start to study as an adult, right? When you're learning something new, you got this new job, right? They give you all these assignments, all these jobs you have to do, and you don't know how to do it, and you got to start studying and learning how to do it, right? That's what that means. So why should you improve on your study skills? There's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now, and you might feel busy, right? So by maximizing your homework time, you can improve your study skills. So when you spend a really long time doing your homework, it's usually a sign that you might need help or you need to start studying more so you understand the subject better to complete your homeworks quicker. So improving your studying skills will maximize your homework time, essentially. Study skills also help you improve on your tests, right? Because when you have better study skills, you have better grasp of subjects and topics, which means you usually score better on a test because you can recall information a lot easier and you can make connections with all the other topics, right? And because you're spending less time doing homework, it means you're getting better at the topics. And because you're getting better test scores, it means you're getting better grades, essentially. So these are some signs that you need to start improving your study skills, right? So when you say these fixed mindset messages to yourself, it's usually a really good sign you need to start improving your study skills. So when you say, what am I ever going to use this for? I'm sure a lot of people have done this or said that to themselves, especially in a math class. You're like in calculus and you're like, how am I ever going to apply a differential equation ever in real life, right? That's usually fixing your mindset and saying, oh, I don't need it. I don't need to learn it. Another one is, I just didn't try this time, right? So you like didn't do well in a test and you're like, oh, it's because I didn't try. That shouldn't be an excuse. You should be like, oh no, I didn't do as well as I thought. So I need to get better at it and start studying more. And then saying, I'm not good at math. She's just a terrible teacher. No one else is doing well in this class. I just know my grade would be better. So if you're saying any of these stuff to yourself, you're putting yourself in a fixed mindset because you're shifting the blame onto something else other than yourself. When you should, of course, like other people can take some sort of blame, but I think you should focus on yourself, focus on what you can do on your end, right? So saying these stuff will not help you. And then other signs that you need to start improving your studying skills, aside from the fixed mindset messaging, is that it takes you a really long time to finish your homework assignments, right? Because if you're spending a long time doing homework, it means you don't have a good idea what's going on in class. You don't know what it all means. You don't know the definition, the topics, the subject, right? If you're missing assignment, it also is a very good indication that you need to improve your studying skills. And when your grades start slipping, your GPA is falling. And when you notice that you have a change of attitude, like you're very pessimistic, you're very negative towards yourself, you're saying, oh, I can't do this. I'm just going to fail this class anyway, so I might as well retake it next semester, right? And creating fixed excuses like the ones right here. That's also a sign you need to improve your study skills. All right, so why is it important to develop your study skills? By developing your skills, you get better at it by practice, right? So like I said, at first, it doesn't come naturally. Everyone gets better at it through practice and through over the course of the years, you figure out how you study most or how you study will benefit you most. You find the best study plan for yourself, etc., etc. And here's a Jamboard activity. but you don't have access to the Jamboard, so I asked for you to write it in your journal. So I want you to write down some fixed mindset messages you said to yourself this year and to share the context and story behind the messages you said. Oh yeah, this is a Jamboard link if you want to see some examples. So feel free to pause this video and then write down what you want to say. All right, I assume you already have wrote down what you said, because now I will be sharing what I wrote. So here are some examples. I will do it tomorrow, right? So that's a bad studying skill or studying habit. Just pushing it off to tomorrow, procrastinating, just saying, I can't do this. I have no idea how to do this by myself. So all of this is fixed mindset messages that I've set to myself. Okay. And then and then Lynn here said, no biggie. So he's basically saying, oh, it's not a big problem. Like, it's just one test I didn't do well on, or one assignment I didn't turn in, right? So making excuses for yourself, and the same thing here, it's fine. And SMH my head. I forgot what that meant, but he's basically saying like just disapproval of what's happening and all the assignments and tests that the teachers have given you. You just go, no, I don't want to do it, or something like that. So these are some fixed mindset messages he said and I said. And here are some context and story. So an example I had was, I had a problem set which involved coding, statistics, and economics. And coding and statistics are subjects I need a lot of work on, so I was stuck on so many problems. I was super stressed out, and I said all those stuff on the previous slide to myself. But I eventually got over it, and I created study groups, right? So that's why study skills are important. You learn when you need to start improvising and getting better at stuff by taking action. And yeah, this is my students. This is Lynn's. You can feel free to read it. And that is it. Oh, where's my mouse? Okay. Now let's continue back. To continue our slides. So we are going to repeat this so many times, but we have a summer activities playbook that is due. So our goal is that all of you, everyone from 9th to 11th grade, apply to 4 activities and to do at least 2 activities. So there's a minimum requirement of you just participating in at least 2 activities in the summer. We provide a lot of lists, a lot of resources, a lot of help, right? So please do it. And it doesn't take that long. It's a 4-week assignment. It's going to take you a maximum 1 to 2 hours per week. And if you want more help, there's YSP advisory hour. I'm usually there Tuesdays, Thursdays. Diego's there, Justin's there. So don't be shy and sign yourself up for advisory hour at this website, advisory.yscholars.org. So there's advisory hour every week. Just feel free to come in. Of course, you don't have to sign into link, but it would be nice if you can. You can always just drop by and ask for help. And like I said at first, we expect you to apply to at least 4 activities and commit to 2. And we expect you to meet your deadlines. And talking about deadlines, please fill out activities 1 and 2. All right, I'm gonna repeat again. Fill out activity 1 and 2. Okay, so that's it. And so your assignments for this week is this Google Doc and filling out activities 1 and 2. So let me show you how this Google Doc look like. It should look something like this. Right, always make a copy of the assignment and then edit it as you need. And that'll be it for today. So thank you for watching this video and have a great day. Bye.